Hey, 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 hey. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. All right? TGIF. Yes. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God. I'm fabulous. And on this Freedom Friday, your mission here today is just a little bit of understanding. Have some understanding on this Freedom Friday. All right? Be fabulous out here. Thank God for it. But we want to have a little conversation. I want to talk about freeing up ourselves. Free up yourself. And for that matter, what is the price of freedom? What is the price of it? I want to know. I want to know because there's so much going on right now that it made me question that. Because yesterday, I had a topic here. We were talking about John Morant. Okay, I was on the air with Isaac Wilson, and not just us, but this is just all over the media. And it made me think about it. Like after I really had the conversation and after I kind of digested the conversation, I just thought about, wow, this young man, what is he really going through? Now, I'm not making any excuses for how he got himself into this situation. Not at all. Please do not be confused. He's done what he's done. But my question is, it made me wonder, how is he feeling? How is he feeling? I want to know that. Is he feeling his freedom? Because I know oftentimes everybody wants to have great wealth. Everybody seems like they want to have a bit of fame. But what's the price for that? Do you know the price for your freedom? Can you free up yourself? We're going to talk about it. I want to talk about it. You guys get on in here. I'm going to let people get on in here. But before we get into the conversation, what I'm going to do is, you know what we do here? We got to do a little breath work. All right. What I want you to do is inhale to the count of 4. And we're going to hold it for a few seconds. And then we're going to exhale. And we'll hold that for a few seconds. And we'll repeat that a few times. Now, you can close your eyes if you're in a place that you can do that. And I want you to do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're actually sitting at the desk. If you got your head pods on and you're taking a listen, we'll vibrate with us and listen. But if you can close your eyes, close your eyes. You want to take it a step further, put your hands over your heart and feel that you are alive. That's you. Let's get into it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. One more time. Let's inhale. Hold it a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Doesn't that feel great? It does. And you got to shake a little bit of that funk off, shake off a little bit of that funk that you might be feeling that somebody might have gotten on you already today. But I hope you didn't let somebody do that to you. I hope not, because it's Friday and we want to get ready to get into our weekend. We're making it a happy Friday. We already said TGIF. We already thank God for it. We already thank God for being fabulous. And what I want to do right now is I want to tell some people good afternoon, some people who told me good morning here this morning on the book. Yes, they did. So I want to give that shout out right back to them. All right. How you doing, Joyce Joyner, Derek Campbell, Trey Washington? What's up, man? Kay Brockington, how are you, ma'am? And Tanya Johnson. What's up, lady? How are you doing? Gloria Wilder. How you doing? How you doing? Ashley Stuckey, good to see you in the building. Hope you're feeling fabulous today. Hope you really are. Jennifer Hankerson, how you doing, girl? And Millis Thompson, how are you? How are all of you? I appreciate you. You got to know that I do. Yes, yes, yes. But it's Friday, Freedom Friday. We want to ask this question. What is the price of freedom? Now, why am I thinking about that? What made me think about that? I mean, it's really the topic of what's going on right now. The whole thing with John Morant has really made me question if anybody sat down and talked to him about what it's like to have great wealth and great fame and how that affects your freedom, how that affects your movements in society. We got to think about that. Have you ever really thought about what your price for freedom is? Like, what's the price for freedom for our culture? Because somebody's paying for it. Someone is. Like, what was the price for Malcolm, for Martin? You think about that? There's larger questions to ask. And what was the price for, like, think about some of these artists and entertainers out here, like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Princess Diana. And I imagine if you ask most people the question of whether or not they want to be rich and famous, I think that they probably would want to be. They probably would. But really, is that what you want? And if that is what you want, how much are you willing to pay for it? Can you give up your freedom? Will you be able to give up your freedom to make moves in society at free will, to go where you want, when you want, move how you want without all eyes on you, not having to live up to anyone's expectations on how you should be living, on what you should be doing? The fact that you're not really going to have a whole lot of privacy. How many people think about that? And did anyone have that conversation with John Morant? Yes, he plays basketball at a high level. We know it. We love the guy. We've been watching him. We've been celebrating him. And right now, through some of the things that are a little disappointing to us, and some little mistakes that he's made that he didn't quite think about. And he's living that out live in public. Because everything that he does now is going to be in public. So we got to think about those things, and he has to think about those things. Anybody who is an artist or they are striving to be an artist or an entertainer, they've got to think about that. And that's a high cost. No privacy is a high cost. Not being able to make moves the way you would like to make moves, that's not freedom. And people think that money is going to give them freedom. Well, you got to ask yourself, does it really? What comes with that? What are those responsibilities? What are the expectations that are going to be put on that? And can you give that up? To me, I think that's a high cost. That's just a high cost for me, for someone who likes to live the way that I like to live. You know, I like to be low key. I want to move how I want to move, when I want to. Nobody's really paying me any attention other than a kind smile and a good afternoon. I like that. You know, like an all eyes on me lifestyle, that's a heavy price to pay for many artists and many entertainers and athletes. And I'm not so sure society makes their lives easy to navigate. In fact, I know that they don't. We see that they don't. It looks really difficult. It really is. And just far too many people are in their lives. They're right up under the microscope. Can you imagine living under that microscope? It doesn't seem free to me. And definitely it makes me question the price of fame. There's a lot of folks out here who feel like they want to be famous. And that's really why social media is just so popular with us, so popular in society, because everybody gets to present themselves in a way and put themselves out there. They're able to get some attention, like everybody wants attention, more attention, more attention, or at least that's what they think they want. That's what they think. But when people and persons like these big mega stars, people whose faces you know, who have a fame, they can't go anywhere. They can't just freely go and get in the car and drive to the store or just do anything that a normal person would be able to do. Because for some reason, if they tried to do those type of things, the people who are normal in society who are doing it, we don't make it easy for them. But I wonder, like, why not? Why can't we? Like, we really saw the effects of fame and fortune on Michael Jackson, on Whitney Houston. You guys saw it. You know that they can't go anywhere. The man started wearing masks out in public way before what we've gone through with the pandemic where everyone was forced to wear it. We really thought he lost his mind when we saw him out there with masks and had his kids in masks. Whitney Houston. We looked at, like, how she couldn't live her life the way she wanted to live her life. It's damaging to people. It really is. And why don't we allow these people to be out and do what they wanna do without hassling them? Because when you think about it, let's think about this in a real way. You see someone famous and you want their autograph. Like, what is that? Like, what are we doing asking for people to sign something or sign a piece of paper when they're just out or they would just like to be out? So they have to rearrange their lives and the way that they move because they know that these things are gonna happen. And it's moved far beyond that now because now everyone has these cell phones in their hands, which are cameras, computers, whatever you wanna call it, and everybody wants to take a picture, do a selfie, shoot some video. So people, they don't have their privacy. They don't. They've got the money. They've gotten into a career or they have a certain talent that they're able to, express, but there's no freedom with that. So what is the price of their freedom? That's the question I'm asking. Is that a life that you could live? Is it? Could you imagine just wanting to go to the grocery store and pick up a carton of eggs? You can't even do that, you know? I wanna take a moment out to say what's up to Keep the Faith with Tori. She says, "I'm here. I have 2" what? "I have a 2.5-month little baby boy. We listening." All right now. You must be doing some babysitting because I know you don't have a 2.5-month-old baby boy. But it's good to know that you are here and that you are listening. I'm just asking the question here, Tori. I'm just trying to figure out if someone is out here having a conversation with John Morant in respect to the price of his freedom. Everybody's talking about the millions of dollars that he is making and the millions of dollars that he's putting in jeopardy. And I don't know necessarily that the conversation about the money should be the only conversation that we're having. We already know that we are talking about, uh, it's brought up the issues of guns and gun violence in our community. It's brought up what the idea of certain cultures of gun violence in our music and in our movies and videos. We've talked about that. But on Freedom Friday, I just wanted to know, like, what is the price of his freedom like? Because he doesn't have it. And in fact, just this morning, someone sent a video to me because people send me messages and videos, and I want to thank you guys. Continue to do that because you often give me ideas of topics that I feel like we should be talking about, and you're really letting me know that they are topics that you want to talk about. So I like that. But this morning, someone sent me a video of John Morant, and it looks like he was just hanging out with his buddies, his friends. They were drinking, playing a little putt-putt golf, just doing what young people would do in the summertime, what a lot of you might be doing at your home, or if you were on vacation, if you got an Airbnb and you wanted to just kinda, live it up and have fun. That's what they were doing. And you know what? I don't know, what was the purpose behind them sending me the video, but I'll tell you what I thought about it. I'm not gonna show it, but I will say this, um, I thought it was great. That's what he should be doing. He's 23, he's young, he's having fun, he's with his buddies. So yeah, do that. I didn't see anything there that didn't look typical of his age, or as a matter of fact, let me just take his age out of it. Typical of anyone who just want to have some summer fun. Okay? So I feel like those are the type of videos, if you want to put that up online, then hey, that's fine. Because that's what everyone does. And he's certainly from a generation that is used to putting everything online, just like you. Just like you. The only thing is, he doesn't have his freedom anymore. He can't go to the mall. He can't go to the grocery store. He can't walk down the street. There's just certain things that he can't do that you can do. And he's got to know that. So when he signed that contract for those millions and millions of dollars, there was a freedom. There was a freedom that he won't have anymore. And that was the price. So that's what I'm asking. What is the price of freedom? And he's not the only one. There's several stores. I'm sorry. There are several stars who deal with this. Anyone who you feel like is a star is dealing with this. We can name them off. Like I mentioned Malcolm X. I mentioned Martin. In terms of being our leaders, they pay great prices for our culture. And then I talk about some of the artists like a Michael Jackson or a Whitney Houston. If we thought about like a Beyonce or a Megan Thee Stallion, whoever it is that you like, you know that they can't freely go anywhere. So these people, they make a certain amount of money. They have a certain amount of fame. They all have their own talents. But I don't know if they wanted their freedom taken away. But the thing about it is, that's what they have to deal with. You guys think you can do that? Do you think you could just give up your freedom for millions? Is your freedom worth those millions? I don't know. I don't know. Because like I said, everybody feels like they want to be famous. That's why everybody's online. That's why everybody's putting up pictures of themselves and putting videos on TikTok and on Instagram. That's why it's being done. People want attention. Attention. I can't even begin to imagine. My only thought is that that this young man, John Morant, he makes it through this ordeal that he's going through right now. I hope that whoever is around him, I hope that they help him through it. I hope that someone will pretty much just get it into his head. But I do think this particular incident again, I think that he gets it. Because he seemed to me to be a pretty smart guy. You know? He does. Of course, I don't know him personally. I don't. But just looking at some of the things that he's been doing outside of this gun issues, just seeing him be a father with his little girl, there's a lot of things that I liked about the guy before we had to deal with these two incidents of the gun issues, right? So I'm not throwing him out. I'm not throwing him out, you know, because I really think with my heart that he gets it. And he's definitely going to get it after this next suspension. He should. I want him to have a great summer, just like I would wish anybody out here to have a great summer. We're out here. You're young, you're living your life, and I don't really care what age you are. You should be able to have fun and live your life. But certainly, he needs to be living his life and having fun because there's a lot of pressure. He's under a lot of pressure. He's right up under that microscope. And if he's going to make money and do what he loves, at some point, he should just be able to feel a little bit of freedom. But his freedom isn't quite like what it was before. And that's going to be a huge adjustment. A huge adjustment. We got to give him some grace. You know what I'm saying? I see we've got Genesis Casey here in the building. Let's see what she's saying here. I could, but it would be okay. I could, but it would be now at my age. Ja is young and still impressionable. But with that contract and life comes responsibility. I wish him the best. I feel you. And she's talking about, I asked the question if you feel like you could live under that microscope or of being uh, famous. That rich and famous is one thing. To have wealth to be able to take care of yourself is one thing, but that rich and famous is something totally different. That's a different beast. And Genesis says she could at the age she is now, but Jai's like young and he's still impressionable. And my thought is this: whether he's impressionable now, yes, he is young, but also, I think, when else are you going to make stupid ass mistakes? You're supposed to make them when you're young. I don't want to see any grown folk over a certain age doing some really ridiculous stuff. You're going to make some mistakes. We all have. We've all done some dumb stuff. We have. We have. And youth is the time to make them. You want to make those dumb mistakes when you're young. You want to learn from them. But like I say, he seems like a good guy. He does. He really, really does. You see what he does on the court, just phenomenal, just admirable. Everybody's looking at him. That's a lot of pressure. I see Genesis here, she says, exactly. We did, but we were not rich and famous. Exactly. We made our mistakes and we could just be stupid and fall over ourselves. And we've made the same mistake more than once. We have. But see, nobody knew. It wasn't under a microscope because all eyes weren't on us. So I think if a lot of us could just step back a little bit and just think about your very own self. Just think about yourself in your 20s. Just think about the mistakes that you made. Think about the times that you just kind of, you fell and tripped. You made some bad decisions. And you made that same bad decision more than once. You did. You did. You know what it was. Right? Well, this is what he did. He made that mistake again. But I tell you what, I don't think he'll do that again. He gets it. He gets it. He knew he was a ball player. He knows that. Yeah. He loves what he does. Yes. But I think it really hit home now that, hey, I can't just be out here doing anything. With this great wealth and with this type of fame, I paid a little something for it. So all of these millions that is being granted to him, he's come to see that's the cost of his freedom, of certain freedoms. Certain freedoms. You guys get it. I see Keep the Faith with Tori. She says, I can't do it. I agree. It's definitely not something that I would want to do even at the age I am now. Really. I really like just being able to make moves the way I want to move. I do. And I absolutely do. If I just feel like going to the store, have on some sweats, put on a ball cap, I'm out here, boom, make my moves back and forth. That's it. I live in a small town, so a lot of us know each other and we see each other all the time. So I can't even imagine being famous because just going to the store for me is like, we're going to stop a few times because we're running into people who are like, hey, Tanya, how you doing, Tanya? Oh, anywhere and everywhere. It happens a lot. And that's just on a local level. We got to give the guy some grace. And I'm giving him some grace. I don't expect to see him doing that again. I don't. I think he'll be okay. Now, I don't know anything about the rules of the NBA as it relates to what he's done and what type of sanctions will come across for him. I don't know. But He has to deal with that. And I think it's up to us to know that we all make mistakes, and we've made a mistake more than once. All right. I don't want to get in here and talk too long about it. I just wanted to let you guys know what I thought because everybody's having a conversation. Um, and I had the conversation yesterday about the situation with Isaac Wilson. And I said, you know what? The price of fame, the price of your freedom, when you sign your name on any contract, if you are a singer, if you're an actor, if you're an athlete, and your face is all over the place, all eyes are on you, that's the price of your freedom. That's the price of it. You might not be able to make those moves like you used to make. And you got to be willing to do that. Otherwise, hey, don't do it. Don't do it because I tell you something. A lot of us know people who are around us who can sing. You know somebody who can sing just as well as some of the stars and artists out here that you really like, that the music that you listen to on the radio or that you're streaming. You know it. But they didn't give that life up, or they didn't make that level of fame. I see we got Les Eccles here in the building. How you doing, Les? Les says, and give his parents grace too. All these dang folks act like they parents fathers of the year, talking about they need to do this and they need to do that. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you for saying that, Les. We got to give his parents grace too, because we don't know what his parents are saying to him, or what conversations they've had, because clearly they have raised an incredible young man. Clearly they have a good family. They've got other athletes in the family as well. Okay? And let's be honest. When you were 23, how much listening were you doing to your parents? And how many of you have 23-year-olds who are listening to you as a parent? Listen, give them grace. Give the whole family grace. I learned a lot. I really learned a lot just by having the conversation and listen to what you guys are saying, and listening to some of the things that I've been hearing online. I'm able to go back and reflect and think about, like, is there more to this conversation? Is there another conversation out of this? Because yesterday, my view was there's a larger conversation as it relates to gun control. Yeah, and we definitely need to be having that conversation. There are things that we need to be doing policy-wise as it relates to it. But I just thought about, geez, I almost I don't wanna say I feel sorry for him, but I got a little, I gotta give that grace to him, because that has to be horrible. It has to be horrible for everybody to just be looking at him like this. It has to be horrible that now he realized, you know what? I signed this contract to do a specific job, and now I can't live my life and go to the mall like how I used to. I can't go to the mall anymore. In fact, the video that I saw of him, he made that statement that he can't go to the mall anymore. And he can't. He can't go to the mall anymore. He can't go to the mall, y'all. He can't go to the grocery store. He can't do any of that stuff. And he wants to have fun. He wants to live his life. I see we got Genesis here with another comment. She said, Les Eccles, we have to give his friends grace because they wasn't holding a gun. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. We got to give his friends grace too. And particularly in this last video. And the reason why I said that, because he and his friend were in the car, they're listening to music, they're doing what I would think that young people will be doing. They're listening to the music, having fun or whatever. And he did turn the camera on, but they were just kind of vibing to the music. It's not like the guy was recording and Ja had the gun in his hand. He didn't. Because he was recording and they were having fun. Ja picked the gun up and put it in frame. So it was not his friend's fault at all. So we got to give his friends grace. You're right. And I'm glad we're having this conversation right now where we're able to give that grace, because if we were so quick to criticize in the beginning, I think we should all be able to step back from it and look at it from a different point of view and be big enough. If we're big enough to have the conversation otherwise, we should be able to revisit it, and we should say where we're wrong, and we should be able to give grace where grace should be given. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate that, Genesis. Yes, we got to give his friends some grace too. They're all within the same age group. They're peers. That's what young people their age are doing. But nobody else cares about the other ones because they're not under the microscope. They didn't sign $1 million contracts. They didn't have that price tag over them. It's unfortunate, but it comes with the territory. So he's got to know that. He's got to know that, and he's got to get that. But I think this last incident, I think he gets it, because I really think that he's a smart guy. I do. You don't play basketball at a level that he's playing at and not have a certain intelligence. So anybody who knows anything about that particular game, you know that. And then, like I say, you would see him on the sidelines. You see him with his daughter. He's a father. He's a young father as well. So we're going to give him some grace, y'all. That's what we're going to do. It's Freedom Friday. I feel my freedom. I might go to the grocery store in a minute and just buy a carton of eggs just because I can, all right? I'm feeling good, TGIF. Thank God I'm fabulous. Thank God you're fabulous. Thank God that you all are willing to give some grace. I love people like you all. I like it. I like having these conversations with you. I hope you have a great weekend. You deserve it. You absolutely do. I know that I am. I sure will. All right. You guys make sure that you go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Hit it. Send somebody there and tell them to like, subscribe. Leave a comment. You can leave a comment here. You can leave a comment on YouTube as well. I'm here for you. This is the Noontime My Time podcast, episode number 58. Yeah, I'm here, y'all. I'm here. All right. All right, y'all. I'm getting ready to get on out of here. Y'all get back into work. If you get ready to eat some lunch, I hope you're eating something good. Eat something good. All right. Do that for me. Before I go, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to breathe this thing on out, because we are being better. We are feeling better. And we're just going to take ourselves into some things that are going to make us feel good. Breath work. Breath work is important. So you know what? Let's do some breath work. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. And hold that a few seconds. Inhale one more time. Hold a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. And don't you feel great? I feel great. I appreciate you guys. And if nobody gave you a smile today, if nobody smiled today, you just close your eyes and give yourself a big smile and see how that feels for you. Right? Y'all be great out here. That's what we do. One love, y'all.